Dear students, in previous videos I talked about different varieties of language in which I talked about dialect, register, accent. In today's video I will be talking about style. This is one more variety of language. So coming to the first slide, what do we mean by style? It can be defined as the way a speaker uses language or the way he speaks in a particular situation. It also depends on the relationship between the addresser and the addressee. For example, we have different ways of saying goodbye. Like we say goodbye friends to our friends, we say goodbye sir to our boss, we say goodbye gentlemen, goodbye darling to beloved or sweetheart, we say farewell your highness to a respectable dignitary. So the style here is appropriate, but if we say goodbye my dear sir, the style is inappropriate here because we have used the word dear. So like we use formal styles for writing essays and letters like job applications, and informal style is used for writing letters to friends and close relatives. No two people speak exactly the same, and no individual speaks exactly the same every time. For example, let's consider uh, you are speaking and your friend is also speaking. The way you speak and the way your friend speaks will be totally different. There will be a lot of difference between the way you speak and the way your friend speaks. Similarly, if you are speaking, if you are talking to a friend, and then you are talking to a teacher, and then you are talking to a brother, the way you talk to your friend, the way you talk to your brother, the way you talk to your teacher will be totally different. There will be a huge difference. But remember that style is not any social or regional dialect. It's not that a particular group of people uses a particular form. Like I talked in dialect, it can be present in any language. It can be present in Kashmiri, Hindi, Urdu, uh, English. So basically, specific purposes are to be fulfilled with the help of style, and every person has a different style, of course. Every person has a different style of using a language. It also depends on any, it does not depend on any social or regional dialect, but rather it depends on your level of formality. It depends upon the situation you are using the language, and it varies from situation to situation. It varies from context to context. It depends upon situation basically, and the relationship you have with the other person. So the style is thus about appropriateness to context. There are circumstances where it is appropriate to use a particular form, and there are also occasions when it is not appropriate to use such forms. We use formal style for writing essays and letters. Like I mentioned already, now we have different types of style. Frozen style, we have formal style, consultative style, casual style, and intimate style. Coming to the first one, frozen style, it is pre-planned, proper use of words and sentences, no one-to-one talk. It means suppose you are addressing a huge audience, so your speech, your sentences are pre-planned. You have to be careful while choosing your words. You have to keep in mind the situation while saying sentences or words. You have to be very careful because you need to take care of each and everything when you are dealing with a huge audience. They cannot reach you, they cannot ask you question, they cannot communicate directly to you, so you need to be very careful in frozen style. It's very formal. Then coming to the next one, Formal style, same audience and involves response feedback. It's also a formal situation. You, for example, you are having same audience, but they can communicate with you. They can ask questions. For example, like in a college or in a school, in a classroom, a teacher is addressing to his students, or he is delivering something, and students communicate back, asks questions. So this comes under formal style. Then we have consultative style. uh, it's a bit formal but less formal than the above mentioned, like a conversation between teacher and student, like a student and teacher are talking to each other. Or if you go to police station, you have to maintain a sequence if you are talking about something like any case or something like that. It is different from the above two because there you have a huge audience. But even if it is one-to-one talk, you have to be careful with your words, the words you use. But you are and you have to keep in mind that you are talking to your boss, so you have to be very careful. Now coming to the casual style, there are no social barriers. It is informal. In casual style, we do not pay attention to social barriers. We do not take care of pauses. For example, if you are talking to your colleague, you can talk in a little informal way also. You hardly think what other person will think about you, so it's a bit less formal. And there you do not need to think about social barriers, and you do not need to be much formal. Now coming towards the last one, intimate style. It's informal and spontaneous, like you talking to your family members. You hardly take care of much. We do not think much while talking to our brother, sister, or somebody else. It's very spontaneous. Whatever comes in your mind, you speak and you express your thoughts, views. We do not take much care about social norms like in other styles, like husband and wife conversation between them, or the children talking to each other. So it's very intimate, it's very informal, it's very spontaneous. We do not take much care, we do not take care of words, we do not take care of uh, social norms. uh, this will come under, all these will come under intimate. I hope no confusion is left.